Welcome to the Calyx Services Garden. I am Thelma, and this is part 2 of the series on growing strawberries from seeds. Now, in part 1, we showed you how to take the seeds off of the strawberry fruits, how to prepare them for sowing, and then in this video, we're going to show you how to take it from the sowing stage on through to the germination and for the first 6 weeks or so of growth. So, please keep watching. Welcome back and thanks for staying. I know some of you strawberry growers out there must be saying, so she's growing strawberries from seeds, which we know is not as fast or not as easy as growing from runners or even from divisions where if you have a larger plant, you can split it in two and get new plants. Now, I can't argue with that. Indeed, vegetative propagation of strawberries is faster and easier. But there are times when, like me a few months ago, I had no opportunities for getting the strawberry plants that I needed. Luckily, I found someone who had only 2 young plants, and from those, I am now trying to propagate and get as many strawberries as possible in the shortest possible period of time. And the best way to do that is from seeds. Now, if you haven't seen the first part of the video in which we showed you how to take the seeds, these tiny little black things, how to get them from the strawberry fruits and to prepare them for planting, I would encourage you to do so. The process is relatively simple. So if you don't have a plant and you have opportunities to purchase some strawberries, then that's how you can get started on your strawberry business, your backyard strawberry enterprise. So I'll highly recommend that it's a skill that is useful in the event you don't have options for any suckers or runners or mini plants. So let's get going, and I'm going to take you into the demo area. I'll be covering the following 5 topics. First, the propagation media, then fill in the seedling trays, the actual sowing, and then we'll talk briefly about how to maintain humidity levels around the seeds, and we'll track the seeds from the germination through to the first, say, 6 weeks or so after sowing. So let's get started. And the first item is the seedling mix. And here I'm using a commercially available mix that is free draining. Always dampen the mixture before filling the trays, as this makes it easier for water to penetrate the mix. Place the moistened mix into the seedling flat, but pay attention to the cells at the edges. Make sure all the cells are filled evenly. Discard any mixture that collected under the seedling flat, then water well, but allow the excess water to drain before sowing. And the part we've been waiting for, the actual sowing. And the aim is to place 1 or 2 seeds in each cell, which could be a bit difficult because I've already mentioned that the strawberry seeds are quite small. What I do is take a few seeds and gently roll them between my thumb and forefinger so I can feel it as the seeds fall into each cell. But yeah, this takes a little practice. Or you can mix the seeds with fine dry sand in the ratio of 2 parts of sand, 1 part seed. Place them in a shaker with very small openings and sprinkle the entire top of the tray. This is referred to as the broadcasting method and is most suitable when you're sowing seeds in beds or flats, not in cell trays as I'm doing now. We've finished sowing, and because the seeds are so small, it's a good idea to apply a fine mist of water to keep them in place. And here I'm using a hand sprayer for this. And the other tip I'm going to give you to make sure you don't disturb these tiny seeds during the 2 weeks or so that it takes for them to germinate is to enclose them in a humid chamber. And humid chamber just means any contraption you can make up. If you're doing just a few and you have them in a pot, then it's easier just to put the pot in a plastic bag and seal the top of the plastic bag. That will retain the moisture for as long as you don't open the bag and let it out. So my little handy homemade system here, which consists of 2 hangers to anything at the side that will keep the plastic from lying directly on top of the seedling, would be good. So you can be as creative as I've had to be here. And I'm just draping a piece of plastic. And this is only going to stay in place for 2 weeks until the seeds grow. Make sure all the edges are neatly tucked in and there's really no opening for air, for free flow of air. And how you know that the system is working is within, I would say, an hour or so, you should start to see the moisture building up and condensing on the inside of the plastic. And definitely, I've used it several times. There's no need to open it up to find out what's happening. It's translucent. You can look and see. And as soon as you see the seeds starting to come through, then you can take it off and let the seeds fend for themselves in the open air. Fast forward 3 weeks. The seeds have germinated and the tiny seedlings are emerging. A close-up shows the first set of true leaves at 3 weeks. Based on our experience, these seedlings should be ready for transplanting in 6 to 8 weeks' time. But let me show you an older set that are 6 weeks after sowing. And I'm just taking out this one. There are two plants in this cell. The roots are nice and healthy. And at this stage, if you are doing them in your garden, you can transplant this. You can plant them either in a pot or in the bed that you have prepared. Now, I want to do a further comparison looking at the performance of strawberries grown from seeds versus those grown from runners. So I'm not going to be taking these out as yet. I'll give it another 2 weeks before I set up that demo. I'm going to wait until I have about 6 of these runners at the right stage. In terms of maintaining the young seedlings from germination through to this stage, between 6 and 7 weeks, what I did was every 4 days or so, I gave them a fertilizer bath. I would fill this, a gallon of fertilizer mixture, half a tablespoon per gallon of water of 20-20-20 soluble fertilizer. You could actually apply the fertilizer in a fine mist to the leaves. But for efficiency, I usually just pour the fertilizer mixture in the tray and then place the seedling flat to soak in the tray for about 30 minutes. This way, I'm confident that the fertilizer has soaked throughout the root zone of all the cells. We've come to the end of part 2 in the series of propagating strawberries from seeds. And we're at this stage now where we have 6-week-old seedlings. We have in this tray, I would say, between 65 and 70 seedlings. And of course, we have to find something to do with them. And I'm going to be setting up more demos. And in addition to that, I'm going to be expanding my strawberry production here in the garden. So this is it for this video, the second part in the series. If you like the information, if you found it useful, or if you know someone else who can benefit from it, please share it. And if you have not subscribed as yet, please, we're encouraging you to do so. And don't forget to press the notification button. That way you would be notified when we post the follow-up videos on strawberries as well as our weekly videos. At this point, I just want to thank you for watching. Take care and bye-bye until the next video.